This doesn't light your fireman, the pilot lights out.
This football team is coming into our place. We're standing in our way.
This is a game of the heart. Focus and finish.
Week 5 is bizarro week in the NFL as the 2-2 Bills travel to Cleveland to take on the 2-2 Browns in a primetime game Thursday night. Now, it's kind of sad in a way when you think about it because the Browns hosted the first ever Monday night primetime game on September 21st, 1970, beating Joe Namath and the Jets 31-21 in front of 80,000 rabid fans at the Mistake by the Lake. But that's what 2 winning seasons in the last 14 years does to a franchise. The Browns haven't played a Sunday or Monday night game since losing 16-0 to the Baltimore Ravens on November 16, 2009, while generating just 160 yards of total offense. The only team with a longer drought in prime time, you guessed it, the one coming to town Thursday, the Buffalo Bills, who last had the honor September 14, 2009. And you laughed when Cleveland jettisoned its best player for a draft pick to build for the future while inserting Brian Hoyer at quarterback. But the Browns come in winning their last 2 games, giving up just 291 yards on the ground. It's third best in the NFL, and they have arguably the best front 7 in the game. Attempting to run on the Dogs has become tantamount to a wasted down. And I'm not sure I'd want to use Stevie Johnson Thursday night. It has nothing to do with the Browns' defense or how they're going to play him. You see, Johnson usually gets a massage during the week between games, and because he's been cramming trying to learn the game plan on a short week and studying game film, he's had to skip the massage. Maybe tense. And here's further proof that Week 5 is bizarro week in the NFL. Reports coming out of New York today are that Rex Ryan wants to just punt the ball on first down whenever they get possession Monday night in Atlanta, regardless of their field position, unless they're in field goal range. The Jets come in with the second best defense in the game in terms of yardage, allowing just 291 yards, but their offense turns the ball over nearly every other time they have it, resulting in a touchdown for the other team. Last week, the Jets offense created 28 points for the Titans. They only lost by 25. So the way Rex sees it is that if he would have just let the defense stay on the field the whole time, they would have won the game by a field goal. Kind of hard to argue the math there, really. The Buccaneers are looking to get their new franchise quarterback Mike Glennon going, so Greg Schiano has decided to bring in receivers from his old Rutgers teams. They've re-signed wide receiver Tyquan Underwood. You know what's next. They're going to trade Josh Freeman for Kenny Britt. Chargers wide receiver Malcolm Floyd is headed for the injured reserve list, which means he's done for the year. You can drop him like a bad habit. The Jaguars will look for their first win this week against the Colts, and they'll have Justin Blackmon back from his 4-game suspension. Now, reports are that he looks great actually gaining weight while reducing body fat while he's been out. Now, people have been asking me if they should add him. I think he could be a stealth add because the talent's there. I just can't figure out how they're going to get him the ball. So go ahead and take a flyer on him. Stranger things have happened. And like I said in the open, it's bizarro week in the NFL. The big fantasy news we're waiting on this week is whether or not CJ Spiller will play tomorrow night. Let this one play out. We'll have a better read on it for you tomorrow. But to be honest, the way the Browns defense has been playing, I'm not certain I'd start him even if his ankle's 100%. Today's Twitter question comes from @ngreenberg23, who somehow finds the time to ask me about 40 questions a day. I think he may need a job. If you can help with that, I'd appreciate it. He wants to know which Charger player I would rather have in a standard 10-team league. Ryan Matthews or Danny Woodhead? Look, most people are going to say Matthews, but I am just not a big Matthews guy. He came into the league with so much hype, and he's done diddly squat. To me, he's a looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane guy. So I'm going to stay with Woodcock. And with Rivers having the success that he is throwing the ball, even in standard leagues, I think Woodhead is going to have value. Now, if you have a question you want answered here on the show, hit me up with a tweet, and if I don't use your question, I'll tweet you back with my best advice. And be sure to tune in to the Roto Experts Fantasy Football News, Notes, and Analysis segment every weekday. I'll be here to keep you current and ahead of the competition, and on weekends, come back for This Week in Fantasy Football as I team up with the King, Scott Engel, covering the week that was, the week that will be, and answering your viewer questions. For Roto Experts, I'm Mike Cardano. See you tomorrow.